Hold the Dark is not in theaters. Believe it or not, I can actually say this is not in theaters. This is a straight to Netflix film that came out on Friday. It's from the same director that gave us Blue Ruin and Green Room, which they are two independent films. Go check them out. Blue Ruin's good. Same with Green Room. I believe Green Room's on Amazon Prime, and Blue Ruin, I think, is still on Netflix. But check those out. This guy is a good director. And so when I heard Hold the Dark, as well as the fact that it has Alexander Skarsgård and Jeffrey Wright, I was pretty pumped. All I knew was about the premise was that it takes place in Alaska and it's supposed to be like Wind River. That's what I was told. And I was like, all right, just going based off that. But for you guys, what I will say is this is a film about a writer who wrote a book about killing a wolf. And this lady hires this writer to basically find the wolf that killed possibly her son. And that's the premise. That's all I'm going to say, because there are some neat twists and turns in this film that right off the bat, I'm going to say that. I was surprised. About half hour, I'd say, into this film, it takes a turn, and I was like, oh, wow. It was very interesting. I was like, holy cow, this film just changed a lot. And also, this is such a well-shot film. It's such a breath of fresh air to see a film, that just knows where to put the camera at all times. It's such a well-acted film, too. Specifically, Alexander Skarsgård. He's great, as always. I liked him a lot in this film. The score is also very well done. I mean, it fits also perfectly with the sound design and just the way it's used for the Dolby effect. I definitely feel as though this film could have been in theaters, because specifically Dolby theaters, because this sound design was really cool. I also have to say that I thought the messages of the film were also good. This being kind of an art house film, the messages can be elusive for some, including myself, because I feel as though I myself need to kind of process it more, which I know I probably, should do before doing a review, but I just want to get this review out so that the word can go out to, hey, check out this film. I think the messages of the film were powerful because it was kind of about, look, things are changing, but at the same time, you can try and help someone, but at the same time, they might already be better off on their own and might actually be using you in some way or another. And also the message of just kind of how people, specifically, actually I should say humans, nature isn't really fond of humans with the way they go about stuff. Again, that's just my views on the messages. And I'm also trying not to really spoil, because the messages also get twined with spoilers, and I'm not going to get into them. But this film, I will say this, it's not a perfect film, at least to me. I think one of the big cardinal sins that this film does is that the first 30 minutes is punishingly slow. It's not bad, but it is punishingly slow and uninteresting. I also think that this film goes off in many different directions. It's many different genres. My girlfriend actually, she turned to me and she's like, this film is like all over the place. But I will say this, and I said this to her and I'll say it to you guys. I would rather see a film be overstuffed and ambitious and have the balls to actually try and do new things than just be generic filmmaking, not have anything special to it. And that's the truth. I give this film props for actually having the balls to be several different genres in one film and just kind of like change slowly. It's very nice. I liked that about this film very much so. But again, I feel as though it being overstuffed, it can make for a uneven filming experience for viewers. Because when you're watching the film, again, like the average viewer is not going to like that. But for someone like myself that likes ambitious filmmaking where it is willing to take risks, I personally liked this film. But again, I can see it also being a flaw for some. I also think that the ending, I get what the director was trying to do. I do. And I give him props for it. But at the same time, I just feel as though it almost, it's very mixed for me, because part of me says it's a cop-out, but then the other part of me is like, it's a good ending. So I'm very in the middle about the endings, which I feel as though in some instances I should put like a middle category, like instead of just positives and negatives, because this would be more in the middle. But, you know, at the end of the day, Hold the Dark for me, it is going to get a recommendation. In fact, I'll be giving Hold the Dark a 3.75 and a 5-star rating. Definitely check this out. This also gets a, you ready for this, guys? You ready? Ready? Texas Pete. Yep. Couple preservatives, but in the end, still good hot sauce. But guys, Hold the Dark in the end. Did you guys like it? Did you guys not? Remember, it's on Netflix. Give it a shot. I do want to hear you guys' thoughts on this film, whether you liked it or not. And as always, don't forget subscription, notification bell, and I'll catch you guys later.